Hello, I'm Alan Williams and I'm with Dave Stubberfield. We're the co-authors of Supercharging the Customer Experience. And today we're going to talk about the framework that we use, Dave. And if you think back to what your first impressions of the framework were, just share that a bit.
Yeah, it's really interesting because a framework generally focuses on its topic, and customer experience is a massive part of that. But also there is brand identity, employee engagement and customer experience. They're the three main prongs to the framework, and they're supported by systems and processes and measurement and insight. And for me, that really brings to life the different components of customer experience. It isn't just a framework in its own singular view. It is a lot of different components that bring the customer experience to life, and they all have their own place and they have their own mark. So for me, seeing it for the first time really reinforced the importance of each of those different elements.
Yeah, no, as that framework developed, I remember thinking how customer experience is inextricably connected to the rest of the organization. You can't kind of separate it out and put it in a box, can you?
No.
It's the whole organization.
It absolutely is. And I think that's been my view for a very long time. And trying to explain that to some people, they didn't really get it. But this framework really, as a visual aid, people go, I get that now. And it really brings the framework to life. So for me, that helps explain my journey and my story and my belief of customer experience across the entire organisation. But it helps from a visual aid that people can see this is how each different component and element comes to life.
Right, okay. And then we also had specific feedback from some people explaining how they found the incorporation of brand identity really enlightening, and I think somebody said it's very rare to see the connection between customer experience and brand identity. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think brand identity, people's minds initially jump to the brand as an overall, which is true. But there's also brands within the organisation, the team brand, the sub-team brand, a mini organisation brand. They're all going to have their own cultures and ways of working. How do they promote what they do and how they work, how they interact with everyone else in the organisation? So there are kind of sub-brands within the overall company brand. And that component, that element of brand identity really does bring to life its true importance when it comes to customer experience.
Yeah, I think I like to think of it in very practical terms. So imagine if you were visiting a trendy media company and the service was good, but it was a little bit formal. You'd feel that something wasn't right. And so the connection actually is to help organizations to make sure that they're not leaving anything on the table when they're delivering the customer experience, and it feels as appropriate and relevant as it can for their customers.
Absolutely agree. And I think recently we've seen a lot of organizations go for a rebrand, and that could be a logo, it could be their website, it could be a lot of things. But you see that they stay close to what people believe in their brand. And I think that's the really key thing about a brand, is understanding what your customers, what your people value. And that really underlines the tone of the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And to flow through, like you mentioned earlier, employee engagement. So the employees really embodying the characteristics of the brand and then being able to deliver the customer experience with confidence in line with that.
Absolutely agree. I think that really underlines the tone of the brand when employees buy into it.